Chicago. Here I am in Chicago, and we are going to talk about blockchain. So the question always arises because with the crypto crash, people believe, well, it's over, isn't it? I mean, crypto. There was talk to go to 10,000. Now we're going to look at the markets in just a moment, as we do every Crypto Tuesday, and look at see how it's going. They haven't gone down to 10,000, but there was talk about 10,000 and lower, and so many are predicting the demise of cryptocurrency. And then that begs the question: with the demise of cryptocurrency, does that mean the end of blockchain? Isn't that what blockchain is? Is cryptocurrency? And the answer is no. That's not. On this space on this show, I've been advocating for blockchain and pointing out to you how how blockchain is going to change the world. It is true that cryptocurrency has that potential also, but the real potential of this technology is in the blockchain technology itself. And the first iteration was blockchain. Was cryptocurrency, but it's not the only iteration, and it's not going to be the last. And even if crypto goes away completely, and I don't believe it is, that's not my, I'm not making any predictions, but I just tell you I don't believe that. But even if it did, blockchain is here to stay, and blockchain itself is going to change the world. And it is changing the world as we speak, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. Bitcoin without crypto, adoption of decentralized tech. So again, I think this is a very good capture of the theme that I was just talking about, that blockchain is not going away. Cryptocurrencies hijack most blockchain-related headlines, but their underlying technology's adoption has been growing rapidly. And again, we point this out a lot on this show. A blockchain can be seen as a distributed database whose information is stored across every node running the network. Because the database is distributed among those running the network, it guarantees data stored within it is accurate and securely stored. And again, that's the beauty of blockchain. As the name implies, blockchains store the data into blocks that are added to the network as time goes by. Each subsequent block builds on the information stored in the previous blocks, which means blockchains form a data timeline that can be securely trusted. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, the blockchain ensures trust and solves what's known as the Byzantine generals problem, which describes the difficulties dispersed parties have in reaching consensus. Since Bitcoin uses blockchain technology, one can accurately verify that funds aren't spent twice. That is, supply is limited, and the history of transactions of the network. The technology goes beyond these use cases, however, with a number of companies and organizations having already adopted blockchain without cryptocurrencies. Blockchain technology is usually associated with cryptocurrencies, with the Bitcoin network being its number one use case. At its core, however, a blockchain is a distributed ledger shared among a network of nodes, meaning the use cases go well beyond cryptocurrencies. Blockchain uses without cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies steal most blockchain-related headlines, but adoption has nevertheless been growing for the technology. One example could be IBM partnering with the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to pilot a blockchain supply system for oil and gas production. There are several other examples, including De Beers Group tracking high-value diamonds along its supply chain with a blockchain, and JP Morgan using the technology to calculate loan collaterals. Speaking to Cointelegraph, Johnny Yu, CEO of cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin, noted that the use of blockchain is commonplace among government agencies and businesses, and pointed to the Global Shipping Business Network, a consortium that counts on the participation of major institutions, including the Bank of China, MBS Bank, and HSBC as an example. The Global Shipping Business Network has been testing the integration of its own blockchain platform to digitalize and track container shipments. He also noted that an Indian state has started using verifiable caste certificates on the Polygon network, while the Romanian Financial Supervisory Authority implemented blockchain technology to speed up workflows and reduce the time for manual processing of large arrays of data. The examples keep on going, he said, noting that it would take a long time to list all of the latest blockchain initiatives launched in 2022. adding, "There is no doubt that we are seeing massive and widespread adoption of blockchain technologies, and the number of companies doing it will grow by the day. Blockchain is becoming a necessity, just as websites and business accounts and social networks once became such." The CEO of blockchain platform Zilqua, I don't know how to pronounce it, told Cointelegraph about yet another use. The United Nations World Food Program has deployed blockchain technology in its Building Blocks project, allowing organizations involved in to collaborate, transact, and securely share information in real time on the neutral network without hierarchy. The program, he noted, has already processed over 15 million transactions and supported over 1 million people. Several other companies, including Ford, FedEx, Walmart, and Merckx, have either piloted or actively used blockchain technology. The advantages of using blockchain technology are numerous, and as a result, investment in the space has been significant. I think that that's a way to look for investments instead of crypto. Now, again, I'm not making any predictions. I'm not making any financial advice. I'm not giving that. It seems to me that that's what's going on. I don't know, but that seems to me. Advantages of blockchain technology. Taking a food and beverage business as an example, he noted that blockchains can provide the required transparency that consumers today demand and expect, as the average consumer today no longer just cares about what they eat and how it should be cooked, but consider where ingredients are sourced and how they're handled. I think it's a crock, but that's just me. He also added that the adoption of blockchain technology could become mainstream and even help with quicker payments, he said. The benefits are clear: reduced human error, better access to information, increased safety, traceability, and transparency that can ultimately help adequately reward all those through supply chain. Blockchain technology, like other technology before it, should be about creating value and utility for users. The executive vice president of industry head and banking of capital markets of the financial services told Cointelegraph that blockchain technology is very ESG friendly. This is where I kind of diverge from my roundhouse, referring to environment, social, and governance standards to which investors have increasingly been paying attention. So if you're investing, again, my just an opinion, maybe you should look at profit and not equity or all these other things that they're environmental, social. But many people do. I get it. Again, I think it's kind of a crock. But that's my own opinion. He added that most don't realize how many parties there are in a supply chain transaction. The large amount of parties involved means a lot of data needs to be tracked, including data related to importers, exporters, the transaction itself, the product, shippers, marketplaces, logistics companies, insurance firms, and other intermediaries. He added that each of these parties either prints out information or exchanges it via email multiple times, consuming resources. All of that consumption, he said, would be eliminated if transactions were processed on the blockchain. That's the beauty of blockchain. Moreover, he said, a blockchain provides more transparency and improves tracing capabilities for raw materials while also making data available to every involved party simultaneously, significantly reducing the risk of fraud, he said. He added, what actually happens is that all of the manual workflows are replaced by smart contracts, and there is an agreement between all the parties involved on how these workflows move around the blockchain. Obviously, garbage in, garbage out. If they tell you it came from someplace and they begin that transaction that way, whether it did or not, it appears that it did. That's a flaw in my mind. Per the analyst, industry is set to benefit from using blockchain and smart contracts, with very specific use cases having developed for financial services, healthcare, and retail. He also pointed to loyalty program management, royalty payments, and public sector applications as other use cases. Despite all these use cases and possibilities, there's a reason not every company in the world is diving into the blockchain world, and the technology isn't being adopted en masse. Well, why do you think that is? Well, we all know the answer to that. While the use of blockchain technology has kept on growing over the last few years, some companies have yet to start adopting it despite the numerous advantages offered. The problem with this type of technology is the required investment necessary to implement it. It costs a lot of money. That's always the problem, right? Once you make it cheaper, then more people will do it. But when it's expensive, you can't justify changing. That's according to the chair at the Washington Technology Industry Association. Speaking to Cointelegraph, he said that implementing enterprise-level software technology requires a significant investment, and added significant means big, lots, huge, and added that changing management may also be necessary as some stakeholders may not want to provide transparency. So we're going to knock them out and put somebody in there who wants everybody to see what's going on. I don't know how realistic that is. You added that training stakeholders on new processes and building out the right types of reports that give each stakeholder meaningful key performance indicators also adds to the costs, as does the enormous amount of upfront investment, enormous amount of upfront money related to process redesign, documentation, training, support, and more. Seems like a pretty big hurdle to me. Doesn't mean it's not going to be overcome, but like every other technology, it becomes cheaper as we go. The president and CEO of blockchain solutions provider Block Apps told Cointelegraph that while this type of technology ensures data is not altered or deleted, it does not ensure accuracy. I think I pointed that out before. As this is reliant on whoever is inputting the information, manual data entry can be prone to error or manipulation or outright fraud, in my opinion. Recent will intellectual property issues sidetrack NFT adoption? A solution to these errors, the CEO added, would be to use the accurate Internet of Things sensors to pull data directly. It's not a way, it's a better way, but it's not a way around garbage in, garbage out. Blockchain's use cases are regularly growing, and implementers are still finding out exactly what can be done with this type of technology and how far it can go. When Bitcoin was first launched, smart contract-based applications like those now seen on the Ethereum were unheard of. The technology can nevertheless help revolutionize several industries, even though it's little over a decade old. It remains to be seen whether, to a wider world, Nakamoto's best invention was Bitcoin or its underlying blockchain. Again, I subscribe to the theory that it's that blockchain is more of the. Let me put that up there. Is more beneficial than cryptocurrency overall.